I begged you so I could take my child and go for the errand, but you refused. I curse you today. You shall look for a child and will never hear the cry of a baby." The weather changed just as she made the declaration. Once upon a time, in a distant land, there lived a beautiful young lady named Fuku, who lived close to the roadside and had a baby whom she raised all by herself. Not many people knew her in the community as she was new to the place, but you could see in her a spirit filled with the zeal to survive no matter what. Anyone who asked her about her parents would hear that she was an orphan and an only child, and they took pity on her. Some assisted her the best way they could, and she took on many menial jobs as long as she needed something to feed her baby with. She was very determined and ensured she took good care of her son. She lived in a very tiny hut that had been abandoned, and she made it her home for herself and her son. She really wanted to go to school from the way she admired the kids who went to school, but fate and life had different plans for her. Even with her little education, you could tell she was a very smart girl who wanted more for herself in life. She did all sorts of jobs like hawking oranges, running errands for some busy people, selling for some people who had somewhere to be. She made little returns and it made her happy as long as she and her son went to bed with food in their bellies. Versa was a girl people admired so much but wondered why a wonderful girl like her would be so loose as to let herself get pregnant and stop her education. They wondered who the father of her child was. Versa soon became a household name and was used to correct their daughters, telling them what to do so they wouldn't become like her. Despite all she faced, Versa kept her hope alive. One day, a young gentleman named Nana saw her hawking and introduced himself. He asked her why she wasn't in school, and she said she did not have enough money to take care of herself and her son, not to mention going to school. He asked her if she wanted to go back to school, and she replied saying yes, that there is nothing she would want more than to go back to school. He told her to come to his home after narrating his situation. She went after she was through with what she was doing. He said he didn't really reside in the village but needed to be around for a while and needed someone who could cook and clean the house. He would pay her very well and thought she would appreciate the job. She knelt down and thanked him so much, which he asked her to stand up as it was making him feel embarrassed. He told her she would enroll in school, both herself and her son, and gave her a room at the back so she wouldn't have to stress herself going home and coming back. She accepted wholeheartedly and couldn't wait to go back to school. She stayed up all night thanking God that her fate was about to change. She soon started going to school and doing the chores in the house, ensuring the house was clean. Her boss, Nana, was very kind to her and her baby. Things kept going fine until one day, Nana's girlfriend came visiting him. She met Feso with her baby at home and inquired to know who she was. She told her name and said she was the housekeeper, that she cooked, cleaned, and took care of the home. Feso was with her son when Nana's girlfriend came, and she introduced herself as Unjuwa. She gave her a look like one who wanted to come and reap where she did not sow, and asked her boyfriend to send her away. He said he had nothing to do with her, but just wanted to help her so she could go to school and have a better life for herself and her son. She wasn't happy with the presence of Feso and wanted her gone from the house. But Nnanna made it clear to his girlfriend that she wasn't going anywhere, making her ask what the relationship between them was. He clearly stated that there was nothing going on between them. Feso became uneasy in the home as it felt like torture for her, with Uju constantly making life very difficult for her, wanting her out of their home. But Feso remained strong as she knew that if she left, she wouldn't see this kind of opportunity again. Nana noticed this and asked Uju to leave the poor girl alone. But Uju wasn't having it as she did not want to lose her man. She came up with a plan because as long as she was concerned, Feso must leave this house for her. One day, Feso went to cook, and as she was doing that, Uju called her and asked her to go buy something for her. She was about to leave with her son when Uju stopped her and asked her to give her the child so she could go faster. Feso did not want to leave her child with Uju, but she insisted, and so she did. Feso ran as fast as her legs could carry her so she could return on time. She came back and gave Uju what she asked for and asked her where her child was. She asked her how that was her business. She heard her child crying and went in his direction to find him in the kitchen on the floor beside some pesticides. On smelling his mouth, she realized he had ingested some and quickly took her child and ran out of the house. She went to a local medicine man as she couldn't afford much, and he began treating the child. 2 days passed and Feso walked home with tears flowing down her eyes uncontrollably. Nana, who was very worried, saw her and asked her where she had been. She looked at Uju and told her, "You have killed my baby. I hope you are very happy. I begged you so I could take my child and go for the errand, but you refused. I curse you today. You shall look for a child and will never hear the cry of a baby." The weather changed just as she made the declaration. Nana asked her what was going on, and she narrated that she went on an errand for Uju and begged her to take her baby as the journey was a bit far. But Uju insisted that she leave the baby with her, saying she would take care of him, not knowing she left him by himself, where he ingested a rat poison by the kitchen side and was already dying when she got to the medicine man. He just gave up the ghost. Nana asked Uju if that was true. She said yes, and Nana asked her if this was how she would take care of their child if they started having one. Feso, not being in the mood, left them and went to pack her things to leave. Nana broke up with Uju as he couldn't stand being with a wicked woman like her, as she wasn't even remorseful about the whole thing, but instead accused him of having a relationship with Feso. Feso thanked Nana and was about to leave when he begged her to stay, saying he was no longer with his girlfriend. But she wasn't having any of it and left. She went back to her tiny hut and was mourning and brooding the demise of her son. She fell into depression to the point she almost took her own life because she couldn't bear losing a child she bore out of rape and had come to love. Nana located her through someone just days after she buried her son and begged her to come back, saying he was very sorry that no one would hurt her again. She wasn't interested and said, "What is the point? Life has been so unfair to me." She began to narrate her story, saying that when she was younger, she lost her father and was raised by her mother. They found it so difficult to feed, not to mention going to school, but her mom wanted the best for her, so she married another man who sponsored her in school. What her mom did not know was that the man was a child molester and a pedophile. He kept trying to touch her and would beat her mom if she tried to intervene. And it became so bad that he threatened her. So her mom had to turn a blind eye, and her stepfather had his way with her. She was broken and shattered and had no one to talk to. Her stepfather never stopped molesting her until he ended up getting her pregnant. They succeeded in removing some pregnancies, but this one refused to go. And when it became glaring to everyone, he kicked her out, and not even her mother could protect her from this beast. He told her mother to pick either living with her or remaining in his home, and she chose the latter. She left the village and came here to start a fresh life, and so, you see, life hasn't been fair to me. Nana got up and held her by the hand and said, "From now henceforth, I will show you the love you were deprived of all these years," and invited her back to his home. When she came back, he gave her a better room and asked her to continue with her studies, which she did. With time, they both enjoyed their company and soon fell in love. They quickly made plans and got married. Not long after Faisal finished with school, she got a good job. One day, Faisal was on her way to work and she stumbled on her mother, who was now looking wretched. On seeing her daughter, she tried to hug her, but Faisal refused and went away. Later that evening, when she returned home, she met her mother in her home discussing with Nana. She asked her husband what this wicked woman was doing here, that she doesn't want to see her ever in her life, and stormed into the room. Nana, who understood her pains, followed her and pleaded with her that she shouldn't be harboring so much hate in her heart, that she should forgive her mother and set herself free from such hate. Faisal thought about it and went back into the living room. There, she told her mother that she doesn't deserve her forgiveness, but because she wants to be free, she forgives her, but she doesn't want to have anything to do with her in her life. Faisal proceeded to give her some money and told her to go start a better life, but she can't bring herself to live under the same room with a woman like her. After which, she left for her bedroom. Her mother, still in tears, took the money and left. It turned out that her stepfather started cheating on her mother with various women till she couldn't take it anymore and left. And her stepfather was then struck with an ailment, left him bedridden and alone with no one to cater for him except his aged mother. Faisal's mother kept coming back to ask for her daughter's true forgiveness, saying that if she has truly forgiven her, she should let her stay with her so she can have someone to talk to. Faisal later agreed after her husband begged her, and they lived in peace. Soon, they went on to have kids, but one day they had an unexpected visitor, which turned out to be Uju. She came on her knees begging Faisal to forgive her, that she has been experiencing difficulty in having children. Faisal looked at Uju and said, "So because of a man, you killed my child, and now you are begging for a child. Anyways, I'm not the cause of your predicament," and made to leave. But Uju fell flat before Faisal and tearfully explained that she had taken a whole lot of medicine and had gone to so many places in a bid to conceive, and was informed at the last place she went that she was cursed, and the father said that if only Faisal can break the curse by forgiving me, that I will start having my own children. She said, "I am truly sorry for what I did that led to your son's death. Please forgive me, that I wasn't thinking well. I did not give him the pesticide to drink. I only left him unattended. I never meant for him to die." Faisal started crying as she remembered the incident and how fresh the whole thing was in her mind. And she said, "I break the curse and I forgive you." Uju got up and hugged her, saying, "Thank you. I am really sorry, and you both look so good together. I wish you well, and she left. Later that night, Feso, while on her bed, thought about how she almost killed herself and how wrong it would have been. As she reflected how her life has changed for the better, she thanked God for her wonderful husband and the kids he blessed her with. She smiled and went to bed, knowing that the days that lay ahead had wonderful things in store for her. The end. Some of the lessons to be learned from this story are: never judge someone till you know their story. Don't be wicked because the repercussions may be severe. Do not molest a child. It is very wrong and a big sin. Just because you bettered a child doesn't make you a good mother. Love and protect your child. No matter what you are going through, always know that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Thank you so much for watching till the end. Please click on the subscribe button to support us. Turn on the post notification to get notified when I upload a new story. Like, share, and comment your thoughts. Till then, bye.